Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope that you're having a good day so far. For today, we are going to be doing some more word parts. So you want to go to your Google Drive, pull up either your English 1 folder, or you can just do a search for your word parts notes. I have my English 1 folder right here, and my word parts notes are here. It is this table where you fill out the word part, its meaning, and then sample words. Again, you don't have to fill out the definitions of the sample words. So pause if you need to get that pulled up, and then I will go through our word parts for this week. So our first one is X. This is a prefix that means out or from. So for example, exit, right? If you exit somewhere, you are going out. Exhale is to breathe out. Exhume, right, is a word that is you take, typically you talk about it in like terms of like a grave. If you exhume a grave, you're taking it back out of the ground. So X means out or from. All right, next we have micro, which means small. So microscope is an instrument that you use to view things that are very small, and you greatly magnify them to see them better. Microeconomics is a field of study that has to do with small-scale individualized economics versus macroeconomics, which would deal with like the large scale, like world economics. So micro means small. Arc is a root word. Arc means chief, leader, or ruler. So if you refer to an archangel, it is a high-ranking angel, so like kind of like a leader of the angels. And then if you have someone who is a monarch, they are like the chief or the head of state. Same thing like if you've heard of like an oligarch or anything like that, same idea. You might have also heard of like an arch enemy, right? That's like your main enemy. Okay, so arc or arch means chief, leader, or ruler. Another root word we have is phobia, which means fear. So this is one that you've probably heard of before. So claustrophobia is a fear of confined spaces. Arachnophobia, fear of spiders. There's all sorts of different phobias. My favorite one is triskaidekaphobia, which is the fear of the number 13. But there are lots of different phobias that are out there. So phobia means fear. And then we have a group of suffixes, ick, ack, ill, ile, tick, and ickle. And these all mean of, like, or pertaining to. So if we have a couple of examples here, cardiac means pertaining to the heart. Civil means pertaining to the citizens. And there are tons of other examples, but those are just a couple. So this whole group means of, like, or pertaining to. All right, so once you have those copied down, then you can close your notes for the day, and we will revisit those on Wednesday. And the next thing that you're going to want to do is complete your journal for today. So your journal is, have you ever found yourself between, oh, sorry, that was our journal last time. My bad. Hang on. I linked the wrong one. Okay, sorry about that. Fix the link there. So our journal for today is, how hard is it to keep a secret? Are there circumstances when you think you should break a promise about keeping a secret? And so again, we're starting to get into some journal topics that are going to relate to Romeo and Juliet, which is what we will be starting to read hopefully on Wednesday. definitely by Friday. So make sure you write 3 complete sentences with proper capitalization and punctuation to receive credit. And once you've done that, you can go back to your announcements for the day. Okay, so what I want you to do is to review your feedback and revise your introduction and body paragraphs 1 through 3. So if you have already turned in body paragraphs 1, 2, 3, and your introduction paragraph, or any of those, I have left you pretty detailed feedback about what you need to change. So I want you to go in and look at that, make those changes on your Google Doc or your Word document, whatever you're working with. And then we will be moving on to write our concluding paragraph. So I want to go over real quickly how you can look up that feedback that I have left you. Okay, so what you're going to do is click on grades, and I have my student view grades pulled up here. So this is just a test student. I'm not exposing anybody's grades or anything. When you go to your grades, if you scroll down to any given assignment, but we're looking particularly at these essay these paragraphs, you will want to click here on the assignment itself. And then you will see any of the feedback that I have left. So this is an example from my English 1 class. So I left some comments here. Yours will pretty much just say view feedback to sorry, yours should probably just say to click on view feedback. So what you'll want to do as a pre-AP student is when you're here on the submission details page, you're going to click on view feedback. It's this kind of small purple button right here. And when you click on that, it's going to pull up whatever you wrote, and it will have actual annotations and little notes off to the side. Obviously, this one doesn't, but yours will have comments off to the side of things that I would like you to either consider changing or things that are definitely wrong that I definitely need you to change. So, what I want you to do is take some time, about 20 minutes or so, go through those and change what you need to change about those paragraphs. If you haven't turned them in, then I need you to turn them in, okay? Get them turned in so that I can look them over and try to give you some feedback before your final draft is due. So one thing that I do want to talk about that I saw come up pretty frequently in everybody's paragraphs was an issue with in-text citations. And I know that this has been hard because I haven't been at school. And so a lot of times I just kind of record what we do in class that day. So this kind of might be partially my fault for not really going over this as well with you as I should have. So we're going to go over it right now. But one thing that I'm really noticing is that you're missing your in-text citation. So you need to give credit to whoever wrote the quote that you're citing in your paper. So for example, the first article doesn't actually have an author listed. It just says biography.com. And that's okay. Sometimes that's going to happen. Okay. They're listed as the author. The second is Eric Rasmussen and Ian De Jong. And the third is Cindy Tumio. So when you quote from either the article about Shakespeare's life, about Elizabethan England, or about why we still read Shakespeare, you need to give credit to these authors that you used a quote from them. Or even if you paraphrased information from them, if it's information that you got from them, you need to give credit. So what does that look like? There's a couple different ways that you can do an in-text citation. So the first one is that you can give credit in your sentence starter. So for example, I could say, something like, according to Rasmussen and De Jong, and then quote, 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 okay, period, and then I'm done. Sorry, I can't type. Okay, so now I've already given credit. I've already said who said this quote, where this quote was from. So then it's taken care of and I don't have to put anything at the end. The other way to do it would be to still have some kind of a sentence starter. So maybe, for example, and then quote, right? And then I need to have, if I'm going to do this, now I haven't given any credit yet, so I need to give a citation at the end of my quote. And how I do that is I put a parentheses. I put the author's last name, or in the case of biography.com, I would just put biography.com. But I'm going to say, like, let's say this is from Tumiel, and then I put the period on the outside. Okay. So these are the two different ways that you can do it. Either one is fine. If you do one, you don't have to do the other. So if you mention the author's name here, you don't have to mention it here. If this was a printed source, right, like a book or something, then you would have to put the page number in here as well. But since this is an internet site source, all you have to do is simply include the author's last name. Okay, so please make sure that you're going back and doing that in your 3-body paragraphs. It shouldn't take you very long. It's just anytime you have a concrete detail that's a direct quote or a paraphrase from the article, you need to include that citation. And that is going to be a section on the rubric. So please make sure that you are doing that. So once you have revised, then you're going to move on to your concluding paragraph. And just like with your other paragraphs, oops, sorry, got to leave student view here. Just like with your other paragraphs, you will, I'll put a video for this paragraph on here so that you don't have to scroll back through this video to find it. But I have your requirements and a sample, and I'll go through those in a separate video. Then the last thing that we're going to do today is kind of review the whole shebang, right? Review our whole paper. So discuss citation, discuss spelling and grammar checks. So we already discussed citation. Spelling and grammar checks, I just really want to make sure that you run a spell check and grammar check on your paper before you turn it in. The easiest one to do is just in your Google Doc, go to Tools, and then do spelling and grammar, and do spelling and grammar check, okay? And like this is obviously just my citation, so it'll tell you if there's errors. You could also use Grammarly, which is a Chrome extension that you could add on. You're welcome to use Grammarly. I also like paperrater.com. So what you would do on PaperRater is you click on Use Now for free, and then you paste your text in. Let me see if I can find a sample paragraph real quick. Okay, so I'm going to just paste in this sample paragraph that I have. You'll put that you are in 9th grade. You can just say that it's an essay. You can use the plagiarism detector if you want to or not. It's up to you. You click I agree. And then you skip this big guy, right? This is they're trying to like trick you into like buying something. You just click down here on this blue where it says get report. And then it will review your grammar. It reviews like not only grammar, but also like sentence structure and like, do you use common words too much, right? Are you being too repetitive? Different things like that. And so I really like this tool. It's like I said, it's free as long as you click on the right things, okay? And then it gives you this whole thing here. So like, great, my paper is original. That's good. I wrote it, so that's good. No spelling errors, no grammar errors. But like you can see here that like I'm not using very many transitional words and phrases. So that could be something that I could improve on, right? So I really like this because it gives you a lot of different ideas of ways to improve your writing. Like this is how my sentences are pretty short, so I could vary my sentence length and so on. So anyways, I really like using this. It's up to you if you want to or not, but I think that it's very helpful. And you will turn in your final draft by Wednesday. So we're not going to have more time in class dedicated to this, but I do want to let you, have a little bit more time to revise if you need it. So this is not actually due until Wednesday, but I did just want to briefly go over the rubric. This is worth 50 points. So you will be putting your essay together as a whole. So it'll go introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, and then conclusion. So it should be a 5-paragraph essay. So you're being graded on in-text citations, sentence structure, your introduction paragraph, your paragraph structure, so that's your body paragraphs, your concluding paragraph, the relevancy of your cited information, and your mechanics. Sorry, I need to take off this works cited page. That's not going to be on there. And then your mechanics. So you can read through this rubric if you would like to, just to get a better sense of what everything is, but those are the basic things that you will be graded on. And again, that is due Wednesday by midnight. So if you have questions, I know that was a lot that I threw at you. Feel free to call into a Zoom question and answer time, or you can email me or send me a message on Canvas, and I will be more than happy to help. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time.